Okay, hi everybody, we're back and we are working on building the cloud class, which is a child of the screen object class. And we have built our constructor and we have a kind of a load image method, which is going to tell us whether we were able to load the image or not, okay? Because we can go on, we can go on with our lives with the image if we don't get the picture. We could maybe do something and kind of keep it going and not have the program die, okay? And you run into all sorts of problems when the file names might not be correct or something like that, okay? So what we did was we called up the constructor. We're initializing things in the constructor. We call up this load image. It's going to look to see if it can open up the file. If there's a problem, we're gonna like recognize that, and then we're going to return whether things are okay or not. Okay, so up here we can actually check that. We can say if I loaded, right? You can go like this. You can say equals equals true, or you can actually just go like this. If it loaded, then everything's great. Okay, that's one way to do this. And if it's loaded, then we can do things like this. We have to find like the size of the image, and we want to compare it to like the max width. Okay, so one way to do that is just right away, one of the things that's sort of like maybe we got to think about is the fact that we're keeping like the bounding box up here in screen object. So we have to actually load these variables, okay? And we're in cloud, and we got to do some stuff in whoopee, where's my cloud here? We're in cloud, and we got to do some stuff over here. What's that cloud? Whoop. We're in cloud, and we want to load up some data from the other up to the screen object. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so we're cloud. There it is. Okay, so if it's loaded, what we want to do is we want to load up the width. Okay, up in the when we have a width here like this. Okay, not get. We want to do a set. So we're gonna go dot set. Okay, be width. Okay, and we want to load that with something, and we want to go super set be height. Okay, and the thing is, the image will now have information that we can get from it. Okay, so our image is called mypic. Okay, and if you go like this and you go dot get height, there's a thing called it's the height, and it's looking for like somebody who's an image observer, and we can use this, okay, but we can also set the image observer to null. So we can just go like this, and it'll get us the height right now, and we don't really have to do anything special, so that's okay. And we're going to say get width, and we're going to say null. Okay, like that. Now it's going to get us the width and height, and it actually stores it up in the parent class. Okay, so if we go to screen object, it's going to store it up here, which is okay. That's fine. We can do it. It creates a sort of like a little bit of a bureaucracy, right? Okay, and then what we want to do too is once we do that is so the height and width of the picture are currently stored someplace. Okay, we could write this faster, but if we go like this, then what I want to do is actually want to size it. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to check this value. Okay, so I'm going to go super get b width is greater than the minimum width. Okay, or the max width. Okay, then I have to kind of resize it. Okay, so we're going to like do resizing if we need to. Okay, and here's how you would do that. There's sort of a special command for this. Okay, and let me show you that. Command line would look like this. Okay, it's a big long command line. So it's going to look like mypic comes with a thing called get scaled instance. Okay, and it's going to take a couple of variables. Okay, it takes a new width and a new height, okay, which we have to do, and then there's some options you can use for scaling it and making it look pretty. You can do like a really high res one. We're going to take the default one right now. Max width is fine. We're good with that, okay. It's just that the width and the height have to be proportional to each other. So what we would have to do is before this, we would have to make some kind of int for new height, okay? And that's basically like a ratio, okay? So like, let me see how we could do this. Hang on. So let's look at this for a second. Okay, so this is like the actual size of the picture, okay? And what we want to do is we want to limit the size or maybe like resize it, okay? And so what has to happen here is that there's a kind of a proportion between this, and we have to keep that same proportion when we shrink the width down to max width. So one way we could do this is to write like a little proportion, okay? The current width, I'm going to try to do this like this, over the current height. Move this guy over a little bit, okay? This relationship, right, has to be the same as the max width relationship. Okay, I'll write the equal sign here. Okay, and then if I go like this, copy width to height, post pizza. Whoa, look at that. Yeah, there you go. I'll move this down here. Okay, I'm just going to build this little function here. Okay, and whoa. Okay, so this proportional relationship is what we're looking for, and this can be like a variable. So we can set this to, we can solve for this, and then it will work out. Let me show you the formula really quickly. Okay, I think I can do this. So if I multiply both sides by the question mark, which is actually the new height, it becomes like this, right? Okay. So what I'm trying to do is trying to get max width, and then I'm trying to get some kind of equation, right? So this makes sense, and I can do this. Whoopee, this is just not pretty. We'll use the time sign here. Okay, so if I do this, that's kind of like a change in the equation, right? And I can just multiply both sides by h, and that puts up h over here. And then if I go ahead and multiply both sides by width, I end up with like this sort of formula. So if I take the original width underneath the height, and I multiply it times the max width, it should give me like a new height value. Okay, and then this looks like this, and then this is like the final formula. Let's apply our formula up here then. Okay, so I'm working right here. I've gotten this new variable called new height, which I'm trying to get to. Okay, I want to do some math, but I want the ultimate thing to become like an int. So I'm going to go like this and cast convert it. But I'm going to do my math. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take max width, and I'm going to multiply it. And I can do this like, you know, any way that feels good is fine. I'm going to do this. I'll put this down here so there's room for everything. And I'm going to take, in this, I'm going to take the, we have the height, and it comes from super dot get b bounding height, because we stored it there. Okay, and then I want to do a divide by super get b width. Okay, so that'll work. Okay, except for the fact that these are all in integers, so you might run into a problem with integer division. And so like integer division is if you take 1 divided by 2, you're going to get not half, you're going to get like 0, and that's a problem because it kind of keeps lopping off the decimal place. And like the division will occur since both are ints, like this is an integer division situation. So to get around that, I can just go like this and say multiply times 1.0, and I'll do that the same thing here. Here, I'll put these guys in parentheses just to be super safe. Okay, I probably don't need to do that, and people will get mad at me if I do that because it's redundant, but that's okay. And I'm gonna go 1.0. Okay, and so what it'll do is it'll run this now for me. Let me make sure I have all the parentheses I need. What am I doing here? What's going on with that? I think I need one more parenthesis, right? Max width time. So I can do one more parenthesis because I'm adding other parentheses. Does that solve it? Yeah. Okay. So so that becomes the new height. We can scale the picture. So what we're doing is we're redoing the picture, and now we can work to print it. Okay. So let's see where we are here. Okay. So where you are is you're in the constructor. We've gotten our picture all set. Okay. Our picture's ready to go. It just needs now to be used. Okay. So we're going to work on using it. Okay, to use the picture, what we have to do is we have to draw it. Okay, so we already have a draw me method in screen object. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to borrow that and override it. Okay, and I'm going to make a change. So let's see what's going on. So this is like the bounding box, right? And I can actually even sometimes use the bounding box one too. We could like have a double draw me thing. But what I got to do is to override. Okay, I'm going to go like here, and I'm going to paste that draw me method in here. Okay, so it's the same draw me, and so it'll override, except for the fact that we don't want to draw the rectangle. We actually want to draw the image. So I'm going to go like this for a second. Okay. And I'm going to draw image. I'm going to use a command called draw image, and this is basically the same commands will work with this. Okay, except that you don't send it like this and this. So let me show you a draw image command. So we'll go g.draw image. It's good to show up. There's draw image. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to take these coordinates here. I think you want this one. You want the image, we want X and Y, and we want an observer. So we'll do this. So we'll take the image, and so what we want is my pick for the image. Okay. The X and Y are going to be these right there. Okay, which we used before to make the bounding box be right. Okay. So it's going to look like that. Oof. What did I do? It's going to go like that. That's the Y. And then the image observer is actually the J panel. So the image observer could be, I think you can just say null here though, and I think it'll still draw. So we can do that, and then put like an ender on that. It doesn't know bound width, right? And we know why, because you have to get it from the parent here. So you have to say super dot get bound width. We have to have super dot get bh. Okay, and let's see what else his problem is. Oh, we have to get the x and y too, because that also belongs in the parent. So we're gonna have to say super dot get xlog. We're gonna have to super dot get ylog. Okay, and now this will draw. This will draw. This will draw. This will draw. Okay, so this is our basic drawing routine. And you could actually do something like, if you wanted to draw the bounding box, you could go like this. You could say super dot draw me and send it G2. And like you could do stuff like that too. So if you wanted to see the bounding box with it, it would work. I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, but then we're gonna get it to run, and we only got like a couple minutes. Okay, so we've worked on our flappy line here, okay, and we've gotten we've got the class, we've got the data, we've got the constructor, okay, we've gotten our load image, and we're kind of ready to go to at least like see the picture. Okay, so what we got to do is kind of test this out. So let's go back to flappy line here. Okay. So, there's some kind of error in cloud. Let me see what the error in cloud is. Oh, there's just an extra space there. Okay, good. So, let's save that. And so if I do save it, it gets rid of the errors. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the game window here. Okay. Game window, we have a screen